Hello, hello today, and thank you so kindly for tuning in to Miss Brown Eyes today on this beautiful, beautiful day today. Because remember, so as a man thinketh in his heart, then so is he. We think upon things that bring a good report, so indeed, 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 it is a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day today. Well, today, my faithful listeners, all three of y'all, today we're going to talk about spiritual things because as I've forestated that I created this channel for spiritual growth for myself and anyone else who is trying to find out who the real spiritual person is on the inside. I mean, it's so easy to cake up the outside, so to speak, but who are you really on the inside? And the only way you're really going to know who you are on the inside is investigating some things. You know what I'm saying? Putting some wholesome things into your spirit by feeding your spiritual man with wholesome spiritual food in truth and in righteousness. And the truth is the righteousness. You hear me? So we've been told so many lies, but today we're just going to just uh, mention a few things today because, of course, this is the month of October and everybody is getting ready to celebrate all of these pagan holidays and they're pagan in origin, like Halloween, for instance. That is the next pagan day that's coming up, and Halloween dates back to the ancient Celtics festival where they celebrated the dead bones, the dead, the demons, and all the negative dark sides of the world. This, like I said, it dates back to the Celtics day. Every celebrated hell day to I'm not going to call it a holiday, but a holiday that's celebrated today dates back to ancient days. And you know that that's true because it brought back to my remembrance this passage of scripture. Very simple, but it comes out of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, but I'm gonna start at verse 8 because it intensifies or it gives you a better understanding when you read both chapter 8 and chapter 9. But it has a lot to do with showing you that everything that's celebrated today has an ancient origin to it, and that they have always celebrated these things. So we're not celebrating and picking up things by chance. These are things that have always been active. It's just that everything is just enhanced now because we have such a free will in this day and time, and everybody can pretty much do what filthy thing they want to do. But anyway, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, starting at verse 8. Let's see, six, seven. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, chapter verse 8 says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." Chapter 9 says, "Is there anything whereof it may be said, See, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us." So you see that there is no new thing underneath the sun. So if the world and society today is celebrating Halloween, Hallows Night, or Celtics, whatever it is, um, that's already been celebrated. We just don't have an understanding of it because we don't investigate the origin of anything. We just pick up the baton and we just run with it and we just pass it on down to the next generation, and we force feed them like we were force fed all of these lies, and we live faithfully by them. But I'm not gonna, just dwell on that day because that is October the 31st, and it just so happens to be the day that I was born, October the 31st, because as a child growing up, and my mama was a Christian. Isn't that amazing? Because it's just like a double standard or oxymoron type of thing. Because Christians know, because Halloween is the only holiday that does not hide behind itself. It comes out when you see the commercials and they're advertising the sales on the candy at the stores and the Halloweens, the costumes. They're talking about all of these demonic, satanic, wicked costumes and all of the ghosts and the goblins, and those are nothing that are light. Those are things that are of the dark side. So that doesn't hide you knowingly are participating in something that you know the origin of. Even if you don't know the origin of that, what it comes out representing tells you what it is. Now, Thanksgiving can fool you because it makes you think that you can only be thankful for one day, and that the Indians and the Europeans just sat together and got full off the land and lived happily ever after until those freaking Indians did something wrong and made them Europeans have to defend themselves. Crap. But at least we can be thankful every day. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to have one day to be thankful, because we are to be thankful every day. At least we can benefit out of that holiday. But knowingly participating in such an evil, wicked way, or paganistic holiday really opens up your household to all types of negative energies that none of us need. But so as a child growing up, my mother was a Christian in the church. She took us to church, but on Halloween, she allowed us to go trick or treating. She would buy our costumes. She would do all those things that everybody else of the world did, yet and still we would go to church. So now what they do now, and as I began to get older, I realized that they were doing it. They would call it Hallelujah Night. You know what I'm saying? And what they say is to get the children to participate so that they don't feel left out. So what they do in the church is, and I remember one church that I was going to years ago, and they have this they have this organization where they give out to the needy. They help. They offer bill assistance and things like that when they have the money in it. They give clothes and food and things like that. And so they wanted all the volunteers. Now the guy who ran this was a preacher of a church, and the majority of the people that were helping him work were quote unquote Christians. But the thing that we were in there to do was to decorate it for Halloween. And the thing that they were decorating, it was skeletons and witches and ghosts and goblins and spider webs and all of those ugly things like that. And these were quote unquote Christians celebrating this with their children. So they were double indoctrinating, if you will, their own children. So, but uh, when you don't understand and when you really don't know the truth, then you cannot be held responsible. But it just seems like that other sense should kick in on some of these things. I can understand when you've been fooled, because we've all been fooled that Christmas is supposed to be the day that Jesus Christ was born. We've all been taught that, so quite naturally we're gonna participate in that because we think that we're paying homage and honor to Jesus' birthday. But in actuality, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's somebody's making money off of this. It's not us. We're the consumers. We're the dumbed down ones. But I don't do that anymore. But I had to grow into that. I had to understand that it didn't make sense for me to thank Jesus for all these gifts. Yet I'm buying a tree and I'm putting this crap under the tree. It stopped making sense to me. Didn't nobody have to tell me. It just stopped making sense to me, and it stopped making sense to my children. And I'm a single parent. So yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we was in agreement and didn't even realize we was all in agreement. But I'm thankful for that. But people celebrate it today and then go to church and they participate in the church, and then they wonder why the houses are full of demonic activities and why it's not peace in their houses and things like that. But around this time of the year is when people are into a lot of demonic activities. You can tell in the atmosphere. Like there's going to be a full moon tonight actually, and there's going to be another full moon on the 1st of November, and I believe a half a moon on the 27th. So a lot of activity, a lot of negative activity happens when the moon is full. Believe it or not, it's something about that moon. It's something about the atmosphere, excuse me, that affects us all, whether you realizes it or not, because they're constantly spraying us with chemtrails. Number one, we're eating all type of unhealthy foods to no fault of our own, because even on your best day of eating healthy, they found some type of way to put some type of genetically modified ingredient in there where you're not getting the full nutrients and benefits that our body really needs. But the beautiful thing about everything, the beautiful thing about all of the secret things that people are doing to us is that your life it has nothing to do with the world. Your life has nothing to do with your neighbor, your brothers or your sisters or anyone else. Your life has already been written ahead of time. To my understanding, you were in agreement to the lifestyle you was gonna have, the things you will endure, enjoy, suffer, or what have you. And you can still live 130 years old in such a wicked, unhealthy world. You hear me? So, in other words, your reality can be what you make your reality be, in spite of everything else that's going on negatively around you in this world. Remember that. I have to tell myself that because I cannot afford to be affected by everything that's going on in this world, because the issues of this world are many. So we have to think upon things that bring a good report so that we don't constantly be bogged down with the cares of this world, for they are many. But around this time of the month of the year, October, Halloween mainly, which is all month long. It's a lot of demonic activity. People are full of demonic spirits that you're interacting with people. And for instance, a young lady, I was coming out of a grocery store, and I don't really recall seeing her. I know here lately I've been seeing a lot of young black queens out here. I'm talking about they out here, y'all. They out here kind of bad. They out here, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm telling you what I am seeing and witnessing spiritually. I mean physically too, but I'm seeing it spiritually. Therefore, I know not to judge. I have sympathy for these women, and I'm seeing a lot of black young women out here on that dope, and more than what I'm used to seeing. And I'm seeing so many people around here panhandling. Everybody's asking for money. Everybody's asking for money. I'm talking about every light you pull up to, I'm sure all over the world now, you're going to see somebody spinning around with some type of sign. I pulled up at a light one time and I seen a guy with a sign so small. Oh my God, that dude's sign was so freaking small. He was holding it with his little two fingers up. And I'm like, look at this brother right here. I'm going to give him $1 because hey, persistence, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that little old bitty piece of sign said, but it had to be asking or saying something. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I was on my way out to the car and I noticed this young lady. She was going from car to car to car. And no one was receiving her. Everyone was turning her away. No one was giving her anything. So I assumed she was asking for money because she was looking like she had been out on the streets. So she walked up to me as I was putting my groceries up and putting my basket up, and she asked me. She said, "Ma'am," and I hurry up and cut her off. And I said, "I don't have any money." But see, this is the type of person I am. I'm not gonna go in my purse that and out. I'm gonna tell you anything just to get in my car. Now, when I get in my car, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna give that person something. But I'm not gonna stand here and open up my money to anybody. I don't owe you that. So I'm gonna tell you, no, I ain't got no money. You can take it like you want to take it, but I'm gonna get to my car. So when I put my groceries up, and I could kind of, you know, see what I'm doing. And so I said, "Come here, sister." I said, what's going on with you? And I wanted to talk to this person because this is a person. This is a person. Do you hear me? That could be me. That could be my daughter. That could be your daughter, my mother, my aunt, my cousin. That could be my grand. That could be anybody, because we are supposed to be our brother's keepers, and we are so closely connected, but we so soon forget when it's not our turn. But we so easy to judge other people when it's their turn. So pain recognized pain, and so I guess she wasn't used to nobody actually talking to her in a right way. Because you know how we do, people don't want to be bothered with you and stuff like that. And so but but before I called her, what got my attention was uh I was finna get in my car, and I seen this real pretty brand spanking new. It looked like it was a Mercedes. The car was so clean I could smell the new in my old car. You hear me? That car was so clean. I could smell the freshness. It smelled like wealth. Do you hear me? And it was an older woman in there, a queen, one of us. And so what got my attention was when the young lady that was asking for money went up to her, she shooed her away so viciously. Sh- she didn't say it, but her action was like, "Shoo!" Just, how you push your hand outward. She did that so hard, and it just hurt me to my spirit. Do you hear me? That hurt my feelings right there. And so that's what got my attention. So I said, Come here, sister, come here." I said, "Come here." I said, what's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you? Why you out here asking for money?" And I wasn't asking her that to be ugly or nothing like that, because she didn't feel like I was, she didn't feel like I was trying to dog her, because this woman looked at me in my eyes and I saw her soul. Do you hear me? I saw a wounded, spirited young woman in her, but I saw life in her. In spite of what she was out here doing, and in spite of what she looked like, I saw life in her. But I saw the humiliation, I saw the abuse, I saw the demons that had her, and I saw everything. Yet I still saw life in her. And my heart went out to her, and I said, "Well, my name is Sharon. What is your name?" And she told me, and I said, "Well, what's going on with you, sister?" I said, "Are you on drugs?" She was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, sister, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you're going through that." And I said, "I know it's rough out here." And I said, if you can, try to surround yourself with positive people as much as you can. People who won't shoo you, and people who won't look down on you." I said, "Because you are worth loving, honey, even now." I said, "Don't you ever forget that." Of course, I reached in my pocket and I gave her some money. And so I talked to her and I just encouraged her, and that's all I could do. And I noticed that woman over there in that fresh, clean car was looking. And I didn't do it for her, but I'm sure, just like it took her shooing her away had to get my attention, it took me doing the right thing by our sister to get her attention. Because we so soon forget, yeah, you driving in your pretty fresher than fresh car and all those things like that, but the life has a funny way of changing within a twinkling of an eye. So only thing we're doing is planting seeds, so we are in control of the type of seeds we plant. Are we going to plant benefiting seeds or positive seeds, or are we going to plant negative seeds that's not going to benefit us anything? And so that day, I was like, "Wow, Father, that was so ugly of her, but my eyes ain't on her. I'm just happy that I could help." And I'm not sharing this story to pat myself on the back, because I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I saw the same sister again, but I saw her at nighttime. And it was like 9, 10, maybe even almost 11 o'clock at night. But I stopped this particular gas station because I needed gas. And so I was leaving a gathering. I was leaving a little get together. So when I came out after paying for my gas and getting me a cup of ice, I noticed her standing over to my right. It's nighttime. And she looked a little bit worse. She looked more battered, or if you will, like she just been out here. She didn't look like she had bathed and things like that, but she still was an attractive young lady to me. She's a queen. And so she wasn't asking nobody for no money, but she saw me. And so she came up to me, "Hey, ma'am, can you give me?" And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And she stopped. I said, "You don't remember me?" She said, "No." And she was finna walk away. I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "You don't remember me?" I said, "My name is Sharon. I introduced myself to you." And I told her name. She was like, I don't remember you. But this time, she wasn't in there. Do you hear me? This time, that, that humble, sweet soul that I saw in there earlier, it wasn't in there. This time, it was only that monkey that was on her back, because she was on a mission. And she was looking right through me. She was looking right through me. So I reached in my pocket as usual, handed a couple of dollars, and kept it pushing. So I'm saying it to say that, yeah, especially if they're on drugs, but they're really just a playpen now for these spirits to just come in there and just operate ugly in them and have them doing all types of things and looking crazier than they really are. You know what I'm saying? So it is time to guard yourself. It's time for you to be the head of your house spiritually. Make the choices that's gonna you know what I'm saying, sustain you and your household spiritually, by receiving good things, and planting good seeds, and thinking about things that bring a good report, and practicing that, living that, speaking things that are not as though they be, speaking words of affirmation over your family, over your children, over the things that you desire. Real talk, you have to speak those things into existence. Words are merely waiting for you to activate them. That's why we have to constantly think upon things that bring a good report, so that the things that will come out of our mouths that will only be benefiting to us and to those who are around us. And the only way it's going to benefit us all is if we're constantly feeding our spiritual man with positive things instead of this bullshit negative ass shit that's going on in this world. You hear me? So anyway, I ask that you please like, subscribe to my channel, perhaps leave me a comment, interact with me. What do you think about the holiday? What do you think about the pagan days? What do you think about anything? I will talk back with you. I promise I will. So just get back with me, and I will talk to you another time. Bye.